My childhood years have been the most amazing you could imagine. It was like a fairy tale, basically. The mountains, the fresh air, and it was really like out of a comic. I had the most beautiful time when I was very little. But you can imagine once you turn into a teenager, and I think the teenage years are tough for everyone, But for me, it was also tough because I realized quite quickly that I'm different than especially the other boys surrounding me. And, that was the time when I thought, okay, this town is too small for me, and the people are probably too narrow-minded. But, I got over that, and I moved from home quite quickly when I was 14 and went into the next bigger city, and this is basically where I ended up.
Was it a challenge to go from a small country town to a city at the start?
Oh, definitely. Oh, my God. I felt I was missing my friends and my mom so much, but, I decided back then to go to fashion school. And I knew this always was my dream. I always wanted to do something in fashion, and I just pulled it together and said to myself, okay, now relax, everything will be fine. And after a week, and if you'll have your new friends and you get to know everyone and the situation and you get used to it, you don't really miss home, especially when you're 14, because everything is more exciting than going home into this village. But anyhow, at the end of the day, as I said, I really had the most beautiful childhood in the mountains.
And now all these years later, Vienna is your home city, beautiful city.
Exactly.
Do you love it now? You've learnt to love city life?
You know what? I really love being in the city. I truly am. And I don't want this to sound, I don't know, unpolite, let's put it that way. But I have now, because I'm traveling so much, cities to compare to Vienna. And still, I love London and I love Paris, and I've been to Sydney, and it was just overwhelming. But at the end of the day, I always felt the most home in Vienna. It's such a lovely place and such a beautiful city, and we are voted now the most livable city in the world in the sixth time now in a row. So that is it's for a reason. We got beautiful architecture, a great history, and this is probably why I'm so bounded to this city.
Conchita, where your love of music and fashion and all things creative started was in a little room that you called your green cave in your family home. What made this room so special for you?
Well, this room was my fairy tale world. And outside of this fairy tale world, there would people, calling me names and giving me a tough time just being who I was. And in that little particular room, I just closed the door behind me, and I was allowed to be whoever I want to be. I was singing, I was drawing, I created fashion, I was just having a good time, basically. And I was listening to Shirley Bassey all the time. and probably by imitating her, I found out, wow, that sounds actually quite nice, what comes out of my mouth.
What were you dreaming in those times in your green cave?
Obviously to become a world superstar in singing and fashion and everything. This is what I wanted to be. And I always had this goal, or the need. I always felt the need to express myself through music and entertain people. And I came into the show business when I was 17, so also quite early. And this was definitely something that I dreamt of back then. And probably just to explain, the Green Cave is called the Green Cave because there was green carpet everywhere. It was very, how can I say, for a little child, it really felt like like a fairy tale world, yes, as I said.
How did you grow as a performer in that time that you moved away from home? I know you were at fashion school, you were on reality television, in a boy band as well. Then Conchita Wurst was born. How did you grow in those early years before the world really saw you in 2014 at the Eurovision Song Contest?
That was a very important process. I started out being in this reality TV show, in this talent show, and I learned quickly that the show business is a tough one, and that you're not a global phenomenon if you're just on TV for several weeks. So that was a good lesson that I learned. And also when it comes to my boy band years, I found out immediately something. If you do something that you don't like, it will never work out, you know. And if you don't feel it, the audience will recognize that. So over the years, I just found out for myself, I want to be on stage, but I need to have a private life. And I'm doing drag since I'm 14, but never in just for special occasions. So this would be twice a year or something like this. And in 2011, a friend of mine, she has her own burlesque group formation, and they would perform every Saturday. And she asked me if I want to host that show every Saturday, and I agreed to do so. And I found out, so if I do it in drag, I have to shave my face every week. My beard needs at least a week to come back, and I hate my face beardless. So you figure out the problem. And then I said to her, well, Kitty, listen, would it be okay with you having a bearded lady as your host? And she said, well, sure. And this is actually how everything came about. So it was not really planned as much as people think.
And then it's May 2014 at the Eurovision Finals. You're on stage in that stunning dress that you actually made, singing Rise Like a Phoenix. Did you give yourself a chance at winning?
Oh, God, no, not at all. Not at all. You are in this Eurovision circus for 2 weeks. And after the semi-final, everyone kept on saying, meeting me at the hallway or wherever, they kept on saying, you're going to win, you're going to win, you're going to win. And I said, could you please stop saying that, because I haven't won, and I don't think that I'm going to win. I'm a drag queen, I'm from Austria, so there's no possibility to actually win. And then it happened, and by every 12 points that I got, each and every time it was just, I can't believe it. I think there is a mistake. I don't think that they I don't know. They are confusing Australia with Austria, obviously. So this was the things that rushed through my head, and then it happened. And to be completely honest, till this day, it hasn't sunk. It is still. I'm surprised when people show up, if there is an event, just saying my name in the headline. I'm surprised if people show up, whether it is a signing lesson or a meet and greet. It's just still so overwhelming to me, and I appreciate it so much, because basically I just spent the most time of my career being not successful and not famous. And so this is, it's still something that I'm not used to. And on the one hand, I would love to keep it like this, because everything is very, very exciting. But I think, if I'm lucky enough to have a long career, I think you unfortunately get used to at least some things.
How important is this platform that you have through your music, through the Eurovision Song Contest, now known around the world, for you to spread that message that you talk quite a bit about in your book of love, acceptance, diversity, friendship, global communication?
Yeah. Well, we people in the public eye, we truly have a privilege to reach many, many people through one interview, one camera, one microphone. And if we are lucky, people listen. And, I think that, in my little world, respect, and freedom and acceptance is linked to knowledge and awareness. So I think that many people just need education when it comes to certain topics. And I would never blame anybody because, not everyone has a connection to the LGBTI community. And if you're not aware of something, you tend to, take opinions of others, because it's more easy to not think yourself and, just repeat things that someone else says. So, like, people like Caitlyn Jenner, for example, that she took her issue and her life story to the mainstream, and so many people just heard and understood for the first time what actually being a trans woman is all about, and it's probably the same with the LGBTI community. It is a privilege, and I will keep on talking about those things because I think they're very important, and at the end of the day, we all want to receive respect, and so this is what I try to, get my point across.
If 2014 was a big year, 2015 has been even bigger. You've released your album, Conchita, your book. Yeah. You've been to Australia twice now. You're coming back to Adelaide. What do you love about your life now and the work that you do and where it takes you?
Oh, just everything. Well, starting out, I love to travel. I love to meet people that I haven't met before, which basically means my fans all around the world. Again, which is so surreal that there are actually people in places I've never been knowing my name and loving what I do. So this is something truly overwhelming. I love the fact that, once I won Eurovision, also my artistic life completely changed because it sounds so harsh, but it is the truth. I just became relevant, at least in the Middle European music scene, and people would listen to my ideas. And, back in the days, if I would have a dream about, crazy things where I thought, oh, this could be a nice music video, or this idea could turn into a great photo shoot. Back in the days, nobody would really care or listen. But now I have this artistic freedom of saying things and turning my inspirations into reality, which is for an artist the most amazing feeling. And these are the things that are making my life so fabulous.
One last question for you, Conchita. I actually made the journey to Vienna for the Eurovision Song Contest this year. I loved my week in the city. I loved seeing you perform. I loved seeing all the artists. And, of course, our very own Guy Sebastian performed for the first time, coming fifth. Not a bad effort for his first Eurovision. Does Australia belong in the contest?
Of course. Are you kidding? Of course. When it is on, I love the fact that you're coming back. I love that. Because the first time when I've been to Copenhagen, there was this lovely lady in this gorgeous dress. I'm so embarrassed. I forgot her name. Oh, God. She sang for how's it called? Between voting and the last contestant, she did her performance, which was
Jessica
stunning.
Malboy.
And then exactly.
Yes.
Thanks to Jessica. Exactly. Oh God.
She'll forgive you. Don't worry.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then with Guy the following year, I think it's just such a lovely feeling, and I just love the fact that you're so keen on Eurovision, and I think for the Eurovision Song Contest, it's just we're taking it to the next level. I mean, time goes by, and we have 2016. Soon, and I think you have to advance even an old concept like song contest. And if it's on me, someday I would love to be at the World Song Contest. That would be nice. But yeah,
start planning now.
Yeah, exactly.
It has been lovely to speak to you. Safe travels to Australia. Enjoy your time in Adelaide, and thank you so much for speaking to the Central West New South Wales Morning Show. Next time we'll have to get you out to Orange.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you so much for your time, and have a lovely evening.